Well, how y'all doing today? I hope y'all having a blessed day. I hope your day is going smooth. If you've seen any of my videos, I woke up to a rash of crap this morning. Now my neighbor was going to be taking me to get my money order for my rent and pick up a few things, and he was running kind of late. But before that happened, I called the bank. I always call my bank to make sure how much I got in there before I go. And when I did, I found out it had been hacked. Again, this has been going on 6, 7 months now, with the exception of 1 month. This has been going on since December. And I did talk to other banks. The problem is I don't have any transportation to get into a bank. Somebody suggested a credit union, and whenever you show up, it's an inside job. But, nobody. I talked to 2 different banks, and they told me that debit cards are number one for being hacked. All right? You need protective sleeves for it, or wrap it up in tinfoil. And I said, well, how close do these people have to get to you to get your information? And she said they can walk by you in a store. You can walk by their car. And so I guess they have to be pretty close. That's all she could tell me. Now, my neighbor did show up here. And he's going to run me up tomorrow. It's going to have to be early because he's got to work to the bank to get a temporary card. Once I get my temporary card, I can access. I only have about half my rent in there, and I have to get a money order because they don't have direct deposit here. So I'm grateful for that. I am. I told him I couldn't see it taking more than an hour, and I already called the office on it, and she told me to pay what I can and pay the rest of it with the late fee when I get the rest, which that's probably going to be about 10-15 days. But Eric, my neighbor, was talking to me about it, and he said, you know that guy that comes and borrows cigarettes from you, Chris? I knew who he was talking about, but I didn't even know the guy's name, all right? He said, don't trust him. Has he ever hit you up for money? And I said, no, but he hits me up for cigarettes, and, I got to stop doing that. I can't afford to do that. And he said, that's right. You need to stop doing that. He said, don't trust him. He's hit me up for money and stuff. He hit me up for $20 to buy beer and was going to give it back to me. I ain't seen it since. He was going to put it on a Cash App for me. It ain't there. It ain't ever been there. He said, don't trust him. And I was like, wow. And he said, the guy works and he makes good money. So he has no idea why this guy is bumming off everybody. Like towards the end of the month. Now, I know that it gets tight for a lot of people, people who are on disability and limited incomes, elderly seniors, what have you. There's always more month at the end of the month, all right? But for somebody, and Eric knows him, knows that he works and makes good money. He has a good job. That I can't imagine why the guy is hitting people up at the end of the month. It don't make any sense. Usually, it has something to do with drugs. Okay, so I'm definitely going to be putting this guy away from my door. And Eric said, yeah, you need to. You absolutely need to. And I told him, I said, I wondered about this guy that's been going through the parking lot at night on his 10-speed. But from what I understand, according to the banks, they have to be closer to you to get your information. So it's hard to say. The last time the guy was at my door, he wanted to give me a handful of change for a couple cigarettes, and I said, no, but if you take my garbage out, I'll give you a couple. But Eric says, no, don't trust him. So the next time, and I told Eric, well, the next time he comes to my door, I'm just going to have to put him away from it because I can't afford to just be passing them out left and right. And Eric says, especially when he's working and making good money. I had no clue. So, I guess there is a possibility that is the person that's doing it, but, it's hard to tell. Even the banks can't tell. But banks are being hacked left and right on the debit cards. And the woman I talked to at the bank today, she told me, debit cards are number one for being hacked. And I was telling Eric, they told me to get a protective sleeve, which I'm definitely going to request when I get in there tomorrow to get a new card. Or wrap it in tinfoil. He said, definitely wrap it in tinfoil. Do something to protect your cards. Y'all have to do something to protect your cards. Because the bank don't do nothing. I mean, they'll issue a temporary card, but with my bank, if I want it in 1 to 3 days, it's $25 some odd. I can't afford that. And I'm very grateful that Eric is going to take me down there tomorrow. He says we got to leave out of here at 9 o'clock. I told him I don't see it taking more than an hour because he has to be to work. But I was glad to get the heads up about my other neighbor. I didn't even know his name. Just never offered his name. And I didn't know anything about him until Eric told me. So he said, don't trust him. And I said, well, thanks. But I can't give him anything anyway. And I'm going to stop giving him cigarettes. He said, you need to. The guy makes good money. He works and makes good money. So it is what it is. Protect your cards. That's all I can say. The woman at the bank said she had been hacked getting fuel here. And they mess with the fuel stations, too. That somebody up in Florida had gotten gas on her card. So I guess, well, I don't get gas. I don't have a card, but y'all need to be careful, all right? So I'm just going to have to work through this. I don't like stuff like this. It bothers me to no end. But when something like this happens, I'm all over it. Because I like to handle up on my business. So that's what I'm doing today. But at least I got a ride tomorrow and I can pay part of it. It's still going to cost me the late fee, which is going to hurt me. But it is what it is. So, and I was glad to get the information about the guy that's been coming to my door because, I got a bad feeling from him from the get-go. I really did. Is what it is. So, protect your cards. Because according to the banks, it's happening all the time now. And, it's hit or miss. And a lot of my friends online are having trouble. They can't even call and get their account balance. They're having to go to ATMs just to get their account balances. So I'm waiting for this to work itself out. Again, I'm glad I got a ride tomorrow. I'm going to have to get a money order and face management, take it in, and I'm going to tell her thank you for, your grace. I'm still going to have to pay that late fee. She made that clear, but yeah. I'm just going to have to be more careful about everything, I guess. I mean, you're being as careful as you possibly can. I hardly ever go no place. Nobody ever comes in here, hardly ever. Once in a while I have some neighbors over, but, I ain't seen nothing out of them. But Eric told me I needed to be careful about that guy coming to my door. So it is what it is. Y'all protect your debit cards, and I hope that none of you all have to ever go through this. All right, well, I'm still working on this. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.